detail. We are going to start with the vanity and add in the detail on the vanity. First thing we're gonna do, if you look at your own kitchen cabinets, or maybe you have a cabinet in your bathroom, cabinets typically have a toe kick at the bottom. So when you're standing at the sink washing your face, there's a place for your toes to go. So they are 4 inches high. So I'm going to measure from my floor line up about 4-ish inches. Again, 1/2 inch scale. The reason we're using 1/2 inch scale for these elevations, you'll quickly see if we tried to draw them at 1/4 inch scale, like our floor plans, the details would be so tiny, we wouldn't be able to see very well. So there's my 4-inch toe kick. Now I'm gonna go up and look at the top of it. The top of the countertop is at 3 feet above the floor. If you look at your own countertops, they're about 1.5 inches thick. So I'm going to measure about 1.5 inches at my 1/2 inch scale, make my little tick mark, and draw my line across. For now, I'm gonna draw my lines pretty light. We can go back, add, to darken them up. If I were to be turning this drawing in, I would definitely be retracing it at the end, because all of these kind of guideline marks and tick marks we've made. Also with our countertops, they usually overhang the edge of the cabinet a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna eyeball about 1 inch past the edge of the cabinet itself, and then go ahead and complete those lines. I also don't have an eraser shield at home with me. That would definitely be helpful. But there I've got my countertop. You can kind of see how it overhangs a little bit. Next, we're going to draw the drawer at the top of the cabinet. Not all cabinets have a drawer there, especially if you've got a sink, but maybe it's a flip down panel and you've got a little cubby for toothbrushes and stuff. Typically those drawers are about 6 inches. So I will measure down 6 inches underneath that countertop, make my tick mark, and draw my line lightly across there. So now it's starting to look like something. I'm gonna have 2 cabinet doors that open out. So I need to find the center of this. If this cabinet's 3 feet wide, the middle of it would be at 1.5 feet or 18 inches. Make my mark and draw my vertical line there. All right, so now you can see countertop, drawer, door, toe kick. I'm gonna add in a little bit more detail. To show that these are doors, we're gonna draw some dashed lines to show how they open. And the dashed lines go from here to where it would hinge. So I need to find the middle of this area. If that's 2 feet, the middle is at 1. Show that on both sides. There, and now I'm just going to use these 2 points and lightly draw a dashed line to show how these doors open. So again, the point of the dashed line on the edge of the cabinet, that's where the door is hinged. So they open out. They're hinged right here, and this just shows the direction of opening. There we go. Now I'm going to add the backsplash. If you look at your countertops in your kitchen or your bathroom, you probably have whatever the countertop material is, probably extends up a little bit to protect that wall back there from water splashing when you're washing your hands or your face. And it's typically a 4-inch backsplash. So again, 1/2 inch scale, I'm gonna measure up and make a tick mark at 4 inches and add in that line and have it go to edge of the countertop, so it will also go past the cabinet a little bit. And again, this just protects the wall from any water. So I'm gonna go ahead and darken my countertop so you can see that against the rest of this cabinet. We'll go back and darken all of the necessary lines in a little bit, but this way, hopefully it'll help you to start seeing it. Okay, so now you'll have some sort of mirror over your vanity. You can do a framed mirror, you could do a mirror that's just attached to the wall, which I'm gonna do for this elevation just to keep it simple. I'm gonna run my mirror all the way up to the light fixture. So I'm just gonna continue this line all the way up there. You can come up with any type of light fixture you want. I'm gonna keep it simple for this lecture and just do one of those, the bars with the round bulbs on it. Those don't always look the best, but they work. I've got one in my own bathroom. And just to keep this simple, that's what I'm gonna do. I measured the bar that mine's on and it's about 3 inches high. So I'm gonna make a little mark at 3 inches and draw my line across. So again, right now I'm working on my light fixture that's over the bathroom vanity. And again, I don't have my circle template, so don't freehand your circles if you're doing this type of light fixture. I looked, I don't have anything else anything this small I could trace over. But there, you can start to see it looks like light fixture over the mirror. When you're doing glass, either on a window or a mirror, to help show that it's glass, you can add some diagonal lines, and that's just kind of representing glass. Now, we can add our faucet in the middle, and usually the faucets are placed right in the middle. If you're looking straight at your faucet, you just see the very front of it. So I'm just kind of going to guess at what this looks like. This is why it's so important to have pictures right next to you when you're drawing your elevations so you can look at different things and get ideas for how you want it to look. So that's gonna be my faucet sticking up. And then the handles. I'm just gonna make really simple handles, but again, just adding this little bit of detail makes your elevations gonna come alive for your clients. Sometimes clients have a hard time seeing what you're talking about, so all these drawings can really help them. So there's my faucet and my 2 handles sitting on top of my countertop. And then I can go ahead and add in, maybe I've got a handle here for that drawer and some handles on the bathroom cabinet doors, and then we will be done with the vanity area. So next I'm going to move over to the tub area, and I am going to show a dashed line as if we're looking through the tub to see the part of the tub that you actually sit in. So we're not really sure how thick the tub is, but so I'm just kind of guessing at this. But I think once I get this in here, you'll be able to see what it is I'm talking about. There you go. So that's just showing that's the edge of the tub. This is where you would sit. And then now we can add in the tub spout, the part that the water comes out of. Again, look at pictures, look at your own tub and see what the faucet on it looks like. I'm just drawing it. Mine is a simple rectangle. That's all mine is in our bathroom here. So there's my tub faucet. Right above it, I have a round control. Again, I wish I had my circle template. And then up here where we made our mark for the shower head, I'm gonna go ahead and draw in a shower head. And again, I'm just gonna keep this really simple for these purposes. You all can embellish your drawings and find really cool shower heads. If you find some you're not sure how to draw it, send me a picture. I'd love to help you. Okay, so there's my shower head. That's where the water comes out. Now, I do want all of you to show the tile on the wall behind your bathtub. So I'm going to measure, I'm gonna say my tiles are 6 inches, 6 by 12. So I'm gonna make a series of tick marks up this wall, 6 inches apart. And to save time, I am not gonna go all the way up, but I want you all to when you're doing this. And the tile will be the lightest line weight. Again, if I was really turning this in, I would be definitely retracing this onto the final page so then I can make sure all my lines look really good. So I'm just drawing my lines from my tick marks across to represent the tile. And then I'm gonna go across the other way and stagger my tile. So each tile is gonna be 12 inches wide. So I'll make tick marks as I go across. I'm gonna stagger them. So I'm gonna start the next one in the middle of the previous one. And again, this will just help to add some interest and show that it really is tile back there. So I'll draw on a few of these and then get out of the way so you can see what it is I've done. Make sure your T-square stays secure on the edge of your table. I have to keep double checking mine. And again, I want you to carry yours all the way up. But now you get the idea of the tile wall behind the shower head and the bathtub faucet. Okay, now I think this area just looks a little plain. I'm gonna add a shelf over my toilet and show some towels stacked up on it. I have a shelf over the toilet in my house. The shelf is 5'6" from the floor. So I'm gonna measure up 5 feet 6 inches and make a mark. So that will be the bottom of my shelf, and my shelf was 2 feet wide. So I'm gonna make a little tick mark 2 feet over and connect those dots with a line. Make sure to give your shelf a thickness. So I don't want to see just single lines for your shelves. That's why we were drawing these at 1/2 inch scale, so you have the ability to show some of these little details. Okay, so now I've got a shelf over my toilet. I'm gonna show some towels stacked up on it. So when you're showing this to a client, they can go, oh, I see it. The more detail you add, the better it helps people to see what it is that you're talking about. It makes the space really come alive for them. All right, then gonna go back in and add a little bit more detail to my toilet, add another line for the toilet lid. The toilet example I had some other lines on there. And then draw the thickness at the top. And there we go.